On the news tonight, the United States to deepen security cooperation with Nigeria to reinforce ongoing operations against terrorist and violent extremist groups. Southwest governors meet in Ibadan for emergency security meeting amid influx of bandits from other regions. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited reports profit after tax of 5.4 trillion naira for 2024. On the foreign scene, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky warns against giving away territory as talks in Switzerland end. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Okoyemi. The Presidency says the United States government has affirmed its readiness to deepen security cooperation with Nigeria, including the provision of enhanced intelligence support, defense equipment, and articles to reinforce ongoing operations against terrorist and violent extremists in the country. This follows discussions and engagement held last week between the high-level Nigerian delegation and U.S. officials aimed at strengthening security partnerships between the two countries and opening new avenues for cooperation. The delegation led by the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, had met with senior officials across the U.S. Congress, the White House Faith Office, the State Department, the National Security Council, and the Department of War. According to a statement issued on Monday by the Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, during engagements in Washington, D.C., the Nigerian delegation refuted allegations of genocide in Nigeria, emphasizing that violent attacks affect families and communities across religious and ethnic lines. The delegation also rejected wrongful framing of the situation, saying such would only divide Nigerians and distort the realities on the ground. According to the president's media advisor, both countries agreed to implement immediately a non-binding cooperation framework and to establish a joint working group to ensure a unified and coordinated approach to the agreed areas of cooperation. He said the Nigerian delegation, in return, reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthening civilian protection measures. Governors of the Southwest region today met in Ibadan, Oyo State, for an emergency security meeting to take action against the influx of bandits and other criminal elements from other regions. They deliberated on pressing regional matters, particularly security concerns across the zone. Governors Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Dapo Abiodun of Ogun, Seyi Makinde of Oyo, Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo, and Biodun Ibanji of Ekiti were personally in attendance, while Ademola Adeleke of Osun State was represented by his deputy. It was gathered that the emergency meeting was convened to address rising security concerns, fast-track infrastructural development, and strengthen regional integration under the development agenda for Western Nigeria. The governors were also expected to review ongoing collaborative security initiatives, including the operations of the Amotekun Corps, with a view to enhancing its capacity amid emerging challenges. So while in Ogun State, Governor Dapo Abiodun on Monday convened a meeting with security chiefs in the state to assess the level of security and strengthen preparedness measures. In a post on X, Abiodun said maintaining Ogun's peaceful status requires proactive action. He added that the discussions are part of a broader effort to keep Ogun State safe and secure for all residents. The meeting comes amid rising attacks by suspected terrorists and bandits across Nigeria. Last Friday, bandits abducted 215 students and 12 teachers from St. Mary's School in Agwara local government area, Niger State. By Sunday, 50 of the students were confirmed to have escaped. This followed the abduction of 26 schoolgirls from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, Kebbi, just 4 days earlier. In Kwara State, 38 people were abducted during an attack on Christ Apostolic Church in Eruku, Ekiti local government area, were released on Sunday.
As they say, the best time to prepare for war is during the time of peace. Today, Ogun State is referred to as one of the most peaceful states, if not the most peaceful states in Nigeria. It's important that we continue to sustain that position as the most or one of the most. So the best way to make sure we sustain that is to prepare to ensure that we mitigate anything that may affect that rating of ours. So this is not the first of these kind of meetings, but this meeting is a very important one to us. And that is why I have called this meeting today.
To politics, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has officially registered as a member of the African Democratic Congress in Adamawa State, signaling a major development in Nigeria's opposition politics ahead of the 2027 general election. The registration took place on Monday, following Atiku's announcement to ADC supporters and stakeholders in Adamawa over the weekend. Videos and photos from the event showed Atiku's convoy arriving in the town to the cheers of supporters who beat drums, sang, and carried placards with his image. He waved and greeted well-wishers from his vehicle as he received his ADC membership card. The former vice president declared that the real opposition has begun, urging his supporters across the country to immediately register with the ADC and join what he described as a new political front. This move formalizes Atiku's association with the coalition party, which he had previously endorsed in July as a platform for opposition figures, including Peter Obi, to challenge President Bola Tinubu in 2027. In the meantime, the African Democratic Congress has expressed optimism that it will emerge as a dominant force in the 2027 general election, whether or not it has 7 governors in its fold. The party's national vice chairman, Senator Nazif Gamawa, said these on Monday during an interaction with journalists in Bauchi. Gamawa insisted that the absence of a sitting governor in the ADC would not hinder its chances, recalling how former President Muhammadu Buhari once defeated an incumbent president without having governors on his side. The party chieftain added that the ADC was not facing internal challenges, calling on politicians who felt betrayed in their current parties to join the movement. According to him, while other political parties have made aspirants' nomination forms very expensive, the ADC will not follow the same path. Gamawa previously served as the deputy national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, expressed confidence that he and other leaders will reposition the ADC for victory. The NNPP on Monday urged Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and Nigerians to disregard purported congresses by the Kwankwasia movement led by Rabiu Kwakwanso, describing it as unconstitutional. In a statement released by its National Secretary, Ogini Olakwosi, the party stated that the NNPP congresses had been held and concluded. The Kwankwaso-led group, in a letter to INEC, informed the Commission of its plans to conduct fresh congresses and convention beginning from November 25 to January 2026 for the NNPP. The party stated that the group cannot conduct congresses on its behalf, as the memorandum of association entered into with it in the build-up to the 2023 presidential election had long expired. The party noted that Kwakwanso, the NNPP 2023 presidential candidate, and some members of the Kwankwansia group remained expelled from its board for anti-party activities. The NNPP stated that INEC must live up to its responsibilities by obeying court orders and uploading the authentic leadership of the party on its website. Governor Seyi Makinde has presented a budget estimate of 891.9 billion naira for the 2026 fiscal year to the Oyo State House of Assembly for approval. While making the presentation on Monday, Makinde said infrastructural development and education sectors will take the lion's share in the proposed budget. According to him, the budget of economic expansion is aimed at positioning the state for a production-led economy. He said that 56.3% of the budget estimate will be spent on capital expenditure, while recurrent expenditure will take 47.6%. Makinde also declared that his administration would continue to ensure that development is fair, humane, and inclusive, adding that it would engage with residents affected by the ongoing Rashidi Ladoja Circular Road project. Speaker of the Assembly, Adebo Ogundoyin, assured that funds budgeted would be adequately accounted for. He mentioned that the projects captured in the budget will have positive impact on the lives of the residents of the state.
From a consumptive economy now to a productive one. So if we're here in front of you saying, look, let us do this together, it is because we know your state can stand on its own and be productive, and true to our name as the pace setter, we can set the pace for them. We have not failed you in over 6 years, and we will not fail you now. You have stood firm through difficult times. You've trusted the process and believe in the vision. You've demonstrated beyond what I can even fathom. I remember the Terminal Atalo Commission 2 weeks ago. Mula worship near Adogba Mosque. And after the worship, I told them, we have to demolish the mosque. But I volunteered to build a new one in return. But, of course, there's a gap between when we demolish and when the new one will come into play. In between that gap, they kept saying, try to stir up religious sentiment. But I want to gbé story yẹn tó ń lọ sí Ṣakí, pure water àwọn fi lé wọn kúrò ńbẹ̀. They didn't listen to them because Oyo State people, they have stood firm by this administration through difficult times, and they believe in the vision. We are not a government that repays good with bad. Together, we will continue to grow, innovate, and prosper.
The budget proposal, with a total outlay of 891,985,074,480 naira, 7 kobo, reflects a bold fiscal direction aimed at deepening the development and human capital growth in our state. Out of this, infrastructure receives the highest allocation, representing 23.5% of the total budget.
In other news, recognizing that true service is measured not by intention but by the needs that surround humans, the Igbajo Achievers Lions Club formally presented Lion Yinka Diamond Ishola as its charter president for the 2025-2026 Lions Service Year. The inspiring ceremony, which underscored the club's resolve to rise to its community challenges with impactful humanitarian action, was themed Enduring Legacy of Service to Humanity. Here is the report.
This is the public presentation of Lion Yinka Diamond Ishola as the charter president of Igbajo Achievers Lions Club, District 404B2, Nigeria, for the 2025-2026 Lions Service Year. The event, which also included a fundraising ceremony, drew a distinguished gathering of club members and guests, marking a major milestone for the club. In a welcome address, the chairperson of the occasion, Lion Shade Vivian Adeyemi, noted that Igbajo Achievers Lions Club is blessed with a rich array of professionals who have come together with a shared purpose, which is service.
In the past 1 year, our efforts are evident in the various community projects we have embarked on to improve lives of people residing in Igbajo land. These projects would not have been possible without the contribution of club members as well as the goodwill and support of everyone present today. However, like Oliver Twist, we still seek your kind donations and contribution to successfully carry out our club legacy projects.
The guest speaker, Mr. Folakunle Aragbaye, emphasized that service is not a matter of opinion, but a comparison to the needs around us. He highlighted the long-standing humanitarian legacy of Lions Clubs International, stating that the organization has continued to shine its light across the world, fighting blindness, feeding the hungry, supporting education, promoting cancer awareness, and upholding the values of resilience and compassion.
In fact, when a farmer finished tilling his own land, he will join his neighbor to finish up. This was not as a result of lacking what to do, but it came from a deep sense of giving and community service. Service which is not about position, but about compassion. It is not about wealth, but about willingness. And that spirit, which is the African spirit of Ubuntu, of humanity, compassion towards one another, is exactly what the Lions Club embody today. Since inception, the Lions Club, of course, has carried the same light across the world, fighting blindness, feeding the hungry, supporting education, fighting childhood cancer, empowering communities, and responding to environmental crises.
The district governor, Lion Abimbola Ribake, further elevated the event by inaugurating new members of the Igbajo Achievers Lions Club. The inductees took their pledge of service, after which the charter president was officially installed and presented with a certificate of membership. The district governor explained that Lions Club was established to create awareness and support vulnerable groups.
That is through teamwork. We work as a team. You can see today we are presenting a new club president, and everyone is here to rally around the club to make sure that we have a successful fundraising program. So we have always been working as a team, and we continue to seek knowledge and improve our community.
Similarly, the charter president, Lion Yinka Diamond Shola, stated that the club has been uplifting the less privileged through educational support, public awareness initiatives, and by sponsoring eye surgeries for those in need.
So for our home club, Igbajo Achiever Lions Club, we plan to do a lot of things for the immediate community that we are representing, which is Igbajo. So we are trying to provide provision of solar lights. Secondly, we're looking at donation of educational materials to the community schools. Then also we're planning to drill balls in the community for this Lion Year.
The highlight of the program included the induction of new members, installation of club officers, presentation of awards, and the fundraising session, which drew enthusiastic participation from attendees. Dignitaries present at the ceremony included former ambassador to Mexico and former Osun State House of Assembly Speaker Adejare Bello, who was the father of the day, Prince Olabode Adenike, Barrister Amos Adekunle, and the Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdurrashid Akombi, who was represented by Oba Abiodun Taufik, among many others.
Justice Mohammed Umar of the Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the trial of Senator Natasha Akpotu-Duran for alleged cybercrime until February 4, 2026. For the commencement of trial. The matter, which was fixed for Monday by Justice Mohammed Umar, could not proceed due to the judge's absence. The matter also did not hold on October 21 due to the protest organized by activists Omoyele Shure to demand the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who was recently convicted on terrorism offenses. Justice Umar had on September 22 fixed October 21 for the hearing, after the trial was stalled owing to an objection raised by the defendant. Akpotu-Duran was arraigned on June 30 on a 6-count charge filed by the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, Mohammed Abubakar. He was granted bail, following which Justice Umar adjourned to September 22 for the commencement of trial. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has reported a profit after tax of 5.4 trillion naira for 2024. Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPC Board, Bayo Julari, spoke in Abuja on Monday during a media party on the company's 2024 audited financial statement. Ojulari said the profit increased by 2.1 trillion naira compared to the 3.3 trillion naira posted in the 2023 financial period, representing a 64% growth. He also said the company recorded a 45.1 trillion naira revenue, representing a 88% year-on-year growth. Additionally, The NNPC board said the company recorded crude oil production of 202.3 million barrels and gas production of 1.04 billion standard cubic feet in 2024. According to him, the company's retail network expanded to 1,096 outlets nationwide during the year. Ojulari said the NNPC's goal remains to raise production output to 3 million barrels by 2030 and grow gas production to 12 billion standard cubic feet per day at the same time. Still to come, FCT minister says he is using FCT administration's budget to execute projects. We'll bring you more on this when we return.